the town and everybody, we take the election serious, and anybody that's running, we want them to have an opportunity to speak.
Very nice to have the opportunity. My name is Ryan Smithwick. I'm the unaffiliated candidate for Superior Court Judge. I'm a former prosecutor from Charlotte, Mecklenburg County. Did 5 years of prosecuting work in Charlotte. Moved here in 2005 with my wife, who's a native of Brunswick County, Kim Baxley Smithwick. Been practicing as a defense attorney for the last 15 years. Tried more than 40 jury trials to verdict. I look forward to your consideration coming in November. The main distinction being I have jury trial experience, and as you know, that's what Superior Court's all about. I appreciate you having an open mind and consider an unaffiliated candidate who would be devoid of partisan influence. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you, sir. Is anybody else? Okay, like I say, we do send out anybody that's running for elected office. We always welcome, especially in our public speaking session. We'd like them to introduce themselves to us and the town. So thank you, sir.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, moving on down to item 7 under presentations. First presentation, Commissioner Long, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Sheriff Ingram, if I could ask you please to join me up here.
Sheriff has some called deputies.
Sheriff, my name is David Long, and it is my honor to give this proclamation of appreciation to you for the tremendous amount of work that you do to keep our citizens safe in the great county of Brunswick. This is a resolution by the Belville Board of Commissioners expressing our sincere appreciation and thanks to Brunswick County Sheriff John W. Ingram. Whereas Sheriff John W. Ingram began serving the citizens of Brunswick County in 1991 and demonstrates outstanding and faithful leadership in providing for the safety, welfare, and protection of the citizens of Belville. And whereas Sheriff John Ingram has served as sheriff since 2008 and exemplifies the mission of Brunswick County Sheriff's Office of placing the needs of the citizens of Belville above his own by willingly serving our citizens and providing rapid response of officers and patrols to protect and serve our citizens. And whereas the town of Belville is honored to recognize, reward, and celebrate the exemplary conduct, valuable contribution, selfless service, and genuine commitment of Sheriff John Ingram to the people of Brunswick County, now therefore be it resolved that the Belville Board of Commissioners express our sincere appreciation and thanks for the dedication and loyalty of Sheriff John Ingram in serving the citizens of Belville with professionalism and willingness to go the extra mile. The Board of Commissioners urges all Belville citizens and businesses to join in showing appreciation and thanks for Sheriff Ingram's exceptional record, devotion, and duty to Brunswick County, adopted this 24th day of August 2020. Thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do for our county.
Thank you.
Get a picture together.
I'll just follow.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I accept that on the sheriff's office because it's just not a one-man show. And we couldn't make it happen without our fine men and women serving and protecting us. And I think we're very blessed to have that kind of caliber of people that make up that agency and dedicated service. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Sheriff.
Thank you, Sheriff. Major, you know you're next.
We got one more.
Okay, we're moving on under item 7, our second resolution. Let's see if I got it in route. Now my glasses won't fog up. Okay, I'll read this one down at the podium. Major, can you come forward?
Would you like to vote on the first one real quick?
Oh, yep. I apologize. Sheriff, I made a mistake. You good, Major, right there. If I could I have a motion that we set resolution R20-13?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Sorry about that, Sheriff. Got to vote on the resolution.
It was a given.
Too much enthusiasm. Okay, 7B on the agenda is expressing our appreciation and thanks to the people and organizations. The first one on that list will be the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office. That'll be resolution 20-14 at this time. Could I have a motion that we accept that resolution?
Make a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, Major, now you can come forward. Thank you, boy. I have my glasses, so I can't read as good as I used to. A resolution expressing gratitude and appreciation for the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office for providing disaster assistance following Hurricane. I still can't pronounce the name of that.
Harris's.
Huh? How you pronounce it?
We say it's
Okay, whereas on the evening of August 3rd, 2020, a tornado resulting from Hurricane Issa's moved through Belleville, caused significant widespread damage, uprooting trees and destroying anything in its path, created havoc in neighborhoods near Brunswick River, and whereas the town of Belville is deeply grateful and appreciative of Brunswick County Sheriff's Office staff, which worked tirelessly to provide immediate disaster relief. And where's the first on the scene to check on residents after the tornado blew through? They didn't get out of breath. Whereas the mission of Brunswick County Sheriff's Office to safeguard lives and property as well as to protect innocents from becoming victims of deception or pressure while always respecting people's constitutional rights. Brunswick County Sheriff's Office is dedicated to providing the safest, environmental, the highest level of service possible with the goal of improving the quality of life for all citizens of Brunswick County. Whereas the town would like to recognize the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office staying on alert all evening, providing disaster relief recovery efforts, for truly making a difference in our town and for all their help clearing the intersection roads and Highland Shores and Old Town neighborhoods and offering assistance to the residents. Therefore, it be resolved that the Belville Board of Commissioners adopt the resolution hereby commending the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office. They ain't getting out of breath. Not only their community service, but for providing emergency response, disaster assistance, and for safeguarding the citizens of Belville and restoring order to intersections, roads, and property in our town. Adopted this 24th day of August 2020 by Mayor Mike Allen. Thank you, Major.
Sergeant, that's not go forward just for the picture. Just for the picture. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Major. Thank you, Sheriff. Thank y'all. I think I ate too much. But one thing, like I say, this hurricane and disaster, when it hit, you know, the back of the development of Old Town was hit pretty hard. And the quick response that night, I was here in the town hall when it hit. I got some phone calls. Some of the sheriff's deputies were here with us. And immediately when we heard the tornado hit, they didn't sit here and say, well, it's too dangerous to go out. They left and went down to check on the houses to see if anybody was hurt. So that says a lot about our agencies, and not only that, also about the response we had from the ones coming up here shortly. Okay, moving on down to under the agenda, 7B2, resolution 20-15. A resident expressing gratitude and appreciation to the Leland Fire Rescue Department for the fire providing disaster assistance following the hurricane. And I'm not going to try to pronounce that hurricane again. I always get it wrong. Again, that morning, after everything was going, when we were going down, cutting the trees and everything down, Leland Fire Rescue showed up to assist. They weren't called. They're part of this community, just like the sheriff's office. They're supporting the people within this area and in the town of Belville also. So at this time, we have two representatives for the fire department here, Ronnie Hayes and Chris Langlois, the new fire chief of Leland. And Chief, if you would, if y'all could come forward. Yeah. Okay, we'd like to also pass resolution 20-15. If I could have a motion to accept that.
Make a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Chief, since you are new, before we make that, could you introduce yourself just a little?
Yes, my name is Chris Langlois. I'm about a week into being the fire chief of Cleveland Fire and Rescue. I have about 33 years in the fire service and spent the last 20 years with the Omaha, Nebraska Fire Department, where I retired as a battalion chief there.
Okay, thank you for that, Chief. And anybody would like to, we have a copy of the chief's resume that want to get some information about him, and he's got a lot of experience. And Chief, we are thankful to have you here, and I know the citizens of my town are looking forward to your leadership in the Leland Fire Department.
Thank you.
So thank you for that. If we could, Mayor Pro Tem, you want to read this?
Be happy to, sir. Excuse me, Chief, I'll put my mask on. It's a resolution expressing gratitude and appreciation for the Leland Fire and Rescue Department for providing disaster assistance following Hurricane Isaias. Whereas on the evening of August 3rd, 2020, a tornado resulting from the hurricane moved through Belleville, causing significant and widespread damage, uprooting trees and destroying anything in its path and creating havoc in the neighborhoods near the Brunswick River. And whereas the Leland Fire Rescue Department mobilized equipment and staff to provide immediate aid and first response assistance to check on residents and clear the roads in the aftermath of the disaster. And whereas it is the duty of the Leland Fire Rescue Department to respond to requests for emergency services and provide support to the citizens of Northern Brunswick County. In keeping with its mission, the safety of the citizens, visitors, and visitors of the community is of the utmost importance. And whereas the town of Belville is deeply grateful and appreciative for the showing of community support and all volunteers and staff which work tirelessly to provide disaster relief, check on our residents, and help our community recover from the storm. And whereas the town would like to recognize the Leland Fire Rescue Department for providing disaster relief and recovery efforts in clearing the roads of the Highland Shores and Old Town neighborhoods to make them accessible and for truly making a difference in our town. Therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners adopts the resolution hereby commending the Leland Fire Rescue Department for not only their community service, but for providing emergency disaster response, assistance and aid to citizens of Belville affected by the storm that was necessary to restore order to intersections, roads, and property in our town. Adopted this August 24th, day of August 2020. Chief?
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, Mayor. On behalf of the members of the Fire and Rescue, we appreciate it.
Y'all are, you don't have to say nothing else.
These guys heard it. I wasn't even here yet.
Thank you, good
We'll
luck.
try and make
I
everybody.
would like to, like I say, if you get a chance, I know the chief will be getting out and around and meeting everybody, taking a little while. Chief, I hope we get you back over to the town, sit down and have a chat. And,
Certainly.
but thank y'all so much. I know this old guy, so I know you always have been.
Mr. Mayor,
We don't have to worry. The town
could we
will
get you
take
to
care.
turn around so we can get a picture and do some
Yeah, I'm sorry. Come on up.
whichever?
Thank you.
See, you're staying out of trouble.
Good job.
Remember the last name was Langlois. Okay, moving on the agenda. Next will be presentation from the 8 Days of Hope. They're from Chalupa, Mississippi. Do we have a representative here that will accept for them?
We have Evan Scholar.
Yes.
From Old Town Community Association.
Okay. Is he online?
He's on the video.
Yes, he's on Zoom. Can you hear us, Evan?
Yes, I can hear you.
Not for 8 Days of Hope.
He's old.
Yeah, he was talking
Yeah,
about 8 Days of
yeah,
Hope.
he's gonna accept for the 8 Days of Hope, because they're not here. He's gonna be their representative. Can you hear me, Evans?
I can hear you. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yep. We have a motion that we pass resolution R 20-16.
Make motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Yeah. I tell you, these things are not as easy to read as much as you think. Okay, this is a resolution expressing our heartfelt gratitude and appreciation for the volunteer emergency response provided by 8 Days of Hope following the hurricane. Oh, Lord, when he down. Isis. Whereas on the evening of August 3rd, 2020, a tornado resulting from the hurricane moved through Belville, caused significant widespread damage, uprooting trees and destroying everything in its path and creating havoc in neighborhoods near Brunswick River. Where 8 Days of Hope, a Christian non-denominational nonprofit organization from Topeka to Chalupa, Mississippi, which exists to demonstrate the love and hope of Jesus Christ by serving those in need, and whose mission is to deploy rapid response teams for immediate action when natural disaster strikes. And whereas 8 Days of Hope mobilized their heavy equipment and staff and coordinated volunteer efforts to provide immediate aid and assistance in Old Town neighborhood in the aftermath of disaster. Whereas the Town of Belville is deeply grateful and appreciative for their showing of community support and all the volunteers which helped and worked tirelessly to provide disaster relief and help in our community. And whereas the town would like to recognize 8 Days of Hope for providing recovery efforts in the Old Town neighborhood and truly making a difference in our town. Therefore, it be resolved, the Board of Commissioners hereby adopt a resolution commending 8 Days of Hope for not only their community service, for their spreading their faith and devotion and giving hope and encouragement to the citizens of Belville by providing emergency response that's necessary to restore property, order, and livelihood in our town. Adopt this 24th day of August, 2020. And it's hard to express enough to say how much they worked. They were there the day after with equipment that kind of surprised me. They got trailers and all this equipment they brought in, and they worked tirelessly to help these people out with all the damage to their homes and all the trees that were down. So I know the people of Old Town, the people of the Town of Belville greatly respect them, and we appreciate what they done, because this was volunteer. They didn't ask, they just showed up to do the work. So I'd like to thank the 8 Days of Hope. Okay, moving on to item 7B4. Evan Starter, Old Town Community Association President. Resolution, I have a motion to accept resolution 20-17.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. This is a resolution expressing, Evan, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
This is a resolution expressing gratitude and appreciation presented to Evan Stollard for the coordinating and volunteer efforts to help with the disaster assistance following the hurricane. Whereas on the evening of August 3rd, 2020, tornadoes resulting from the Hurricane Isis moved through Belville, causing significant widespread damage, uprooting trees, destroying everything in its path, and creating havoc in the Old Town neighborhood. Whereas the town would like to recognize Evan Starter for reporting the incidents, rallying the neighbors to find those in need of support, afterwards helping relay those needs to the volunteer organizations. And whereas the town of Belville is deeply grateful and appreciative for the support of Evan Starter and his assistance in coordinating volunteer efforts to help with vegetative debris removal following ISIS, and therefore be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of the town of Belville adopts a resolution hereby commending Evan Starter for his assistance in community service, for effectively coordinating volunteer emergency response disaster assistance teams to aid the Old Town residents. Adopted this 24th day of August, 2020. Thank you, Evan.
Thank you guys for everything you do for us as well.
Thank you so much, and we'll make sure we get this to you as soon as possible.
We just did.
Okay, the last comments, and if the board members would like to make any, like I say, you know, it's devastating when I went out that morning, and I was out even before the sun came up. And I went to the back of Old Town. The first thing I was glad to hear from the officers that went out and checked this, that there was no people hurt. Because, you know, as the hurricane went through our country, some people were not that lucky. And even here in North Carolina, mobile home section got hit, and I think either 2 or 3 people died. So it was a very dangerous hurricane, even at Category 1, because it did spin out so many possible tornadoes during the event. And I think we had 3 or 4 right here in Brunswick County. One in Bald Head, one on the south end, the one that hit ours, and I think there was one more. So I'm just thankful that in our county, you had a lot of damage, but nobody was harmed. And let's think about and keep the rest of the families and people in our thoughts. Because of this, we know right now in the Gulf, there's 2 hurricanes. One's hitting Louisiana right now as we talk. Another one's right behind it. So those people are going to go through a lot. One's a Category 1, the second one could be up to a Category 3 when it hits. So keep them in your prayers, your thoughts, because we just went through one. We know how devastating it can be, but also we know in our community that we got good people. They respond when they need help, when people need them. They step up to the plate. These church groups that step in, they're outstanding people because they volunteered their time, their equipment, and to get out to help people that need it bad. Because a lot of people, when something like this happens, and the ones of you that saw the damage afterwards, it's overwhelming when you walk out of your house and realize your house is damaged and it looks like a no man's land. Every tree around your house is down. And so it's nice to see a friendly face walk up and say, I'm here to help you. So we can't thank these people enough. And I'm just thankful that we got people like this in our country. It says a lot about the American people and how many people out there we got that are willing to give their time and their energy and their effort and their money to help people. Any comments from the commissioners? If not, we will move on to item 8.
Or how about 7C?
You gonna have to, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm about to forget one of the best ones last. Well, I would be in trouble. Mayor Pro Tem will handle this, and I'll let you take this. Okay, we need the motion to pass resolution 20-18.
Make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem.
If you would meet me at the podium. I've been looking forward to this because can't say enough great things about Athena Williams, how much she's done for this town. It's just a very simple way for us to thank you for this. So it's a resolution by the Belville Board of Commissioners expressing sincere thanks and appreciation to Town Manager Athena Williams for her 14 years of service in the Town of Belville. Whereas Athena has dutifully served as the Town of Belville since her oath of office on July 5th, 2006, which happens to be my birthday, I had no idea. And whereas Ms. Williams has devoted 14 years of her life to the advancement of the Town of Belville, and during her tenure has served as town clerk, town administrator, and subsequently has undertaken the role of town manager. And whereas over the course of her 14 years at the town, Athena Williams worked to ensure that all town procedures were followed in accordance with its ordinances and played a pivotal role in seeing the town grow from a small population to over 2,200 constituents. And whereas Athena Williams demonstrated professionalism and scrupulously handled meeting preparation, minute taking, management of the ordinances and proclamations, collaboration with commissioners and the mayor, as well as being a mentor to other town clerks and a longtime liaison to the public, providing dedicated service to the citizens, businesses, and others seeking information about the town. And whereas Athena Williams fulfilled all her roles with attention to detail, meeting numerous deadlines with effective management skills, all the while adding to her creativity and ideas, never missing a chance to send an inspiring message or give assistance to those in need. And whereas, as an efficient and effective leader, Athena has supervised not only the town staff, but executed contracts with contractors and consultants with her collaborative leadership style, and has skillfully managed numerous complex projects and exemplified dedication, personal integrity, responsiveness, wonderful sense of humor to create an enjoyable workplace. Now and therefore be it resolved that the mayor, board of commissioners, and staff extend their sincere appreciation, heartfelt thanks to town manager Athena Williams for her 14 years of service to the town of Belville. And may this resolution serve as recognition for her outstanding service. Adopted this 24th day of August, 2020.
Thank you.
Thank you. And this is just, the commissioners got together, this is just a gift card collected by the commissioners, $500 to Target. I know that you enjoy that, so, hey, it's the least we can do to say thank you very, very much.
It's been a pleasure serving all of you. Thank you.
You ever make, go
Mr.
ahead,
Mayor,
get the
can you
pictures,
stand
I'll
up
make some
and get in the
comment.
picture?
Hmm.
You can stand up there. Sorry. What do you say?
Just want you to understand that's from the commissioners, the money.
Thank you.
Get one off. You in trouble times.
Thank you again.
You know, it kind of reminds me sometimes of when we do this, as long as I've been with Athena now, almost 8 years. You know, and I said that I'll give kind of an unusual scenario, kind of like the Wizard of Oz. You know, in that movie, the wizard was always behind the screen, making everything happen. Well, that's like Athena. We might be in the forefront. We might make things look like we're doing it, but we couldn't do it without her. So she is the heartbeat of the town. When I came on the council, she was our clerk, and then through the changes, she became the clerk and the town administrator. So it's a dual job. Now we converted our style back from a mayor council to a council form of government. Now she's town manager. So she's constantly able to shift, but with the knowledge that she has and what goes on in this town to keep it moving, just like the night of the hurricane, when everything happens, it don't matter what time I call her, she answers the phone. And she's not sitting there waiting for me to tell her everything. The first thing she asks, because I told her we're going to have damage and trees blocking the roads. And she said, I need to make the call now. And I said, make it. I don't have to worry about things happening. They happen. it's nice to have a town manager that really cares about the town, has a knowledge of everything that goes on here, knows everybody. And when you ask for something to be done, you don't have to ask a second time. You don't have to go back because she's going to be up coming to you saying, it's done. Here's the date. Here's where we're going to meet. Here's the information. That's a sign of a great leader, great leadership in the town. And sometimes she doesn't get the recognition she deserves. Athena, we thank you so much for what you do here in the town. And you make our job a lot easier. You always have. She's been the steady rock in the storms. And this town's had some storms through its existence. But she's been a constant, never changing and looking out for the best interests of the town. That's the kind of leadership we got here. That's the reason she deserved to be our town manager. She paved the way, and she's a good leader. And Athena, like I said, I know from my behalf and the commissioners, we thank you for all the hard work you do. And we hope there's a long future ahead of us with you here, sitting in the pilot's chair and guiding this ship. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Any other comments from the commissioners?
Yeah, I can just, your assistance has been invaluable. Thank you very much. I've learned a lot from you about this job, so thank you very much.
Remember when you started? Look where you are now and look at all the accomplishments you've done. Look at the teamwork that you've embodied based on what the mayor and the mayor pro tem just shared. Well done.
I'll just echo what they said. I mean, having you here is fantastic. I mean, it's been great so far working with you, and even starting out, working with you when I was a prospective resident of Belleville, 6 years ago. So thank you for everything that you do.
Thank y'all for those comments. Appreciate that. And another thing that does, and we got some good things in our future. I'm looking forward to them. I'm glad we got Athena as the town manager helping keep this ship on a steady course through the storms. Okay, we'll move on to item 8 under appointments. 8A, Belleville ABC Board of Commissioner. Excuse me. ABC Board vacancy coming up. I was looking through, we have 2 individuals that applied for this. Of course, Mr. John Clark is our current chairman of the ABC Board, and Mr. Shannon Mims. Now, sir, could you come forward, because we haven't met you. John ain't trying to hold you back, but we haven't met him, so everybody knows John. And we'd like to meet you, and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Good evening. My name's Shannon Mims. I've been here in Belleville for 8 years now. Full-time firefighter with the town of Shallotte. I own 2 businesses here in Belleville as well, all about home exteriors. We're in a home renovation business, mainly exteriors, roofing, siding, decking, fencing, that type of thing. And also own M&M Bounce and Party Rentals, which you guys rent from us from time to time, and we always give to the Owl down here at the Belleville Park. So we tried to do a few things with that business with the town, and that things have always been good. Dave is one of my neighbors, and we talk regularly, and he mentioned something to me about an opening, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity. I volunteered with some of the youth organizations. I have children that have come up. I've coached sports and volunteered with them for years, and now my kids are getting a little older, and so I've got some time to volunteer and give to the community somewhere, and I thought this would be a good spot.
Okay. And we're thankful, and I always made comments even in the past. We appreciate people that want to be part of the town, and no matter what form it's in, it says a lot about the individuals that they want to give of themselves and service to the community. So thank you for applying. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Long, we're going to need a motion. Yeah, he can talk. You want to talk, John? I wasn't trying to bypass him. I mean, John kind of split. He says a lot without having to say much.
Could I just, before we do motion, can I just say one thing?
Go ahead, sir.
So one of the items that Shannon didn't share is that after Hurricane Florence came through, we had a lot of thunderstorms that came right after. And he made sure not only that our roof that was torn to heck and back, made sure he and his team went up on the roof to secure a tarp that's bigger than any tarp I've ever seen. And in the middle of the windstorm, they're up there making sure that our home is safe. So that's just the type of caliber that Shannon is and what he represents. And that wasn't on his application. I just, that's quality he has, and that's just who he is as a person.
Okay, any other comments? If not, I'd like to go ahead and nominate John Clark for reappointment to the position of chairman of the ABC board. Did I have a motion to accept that, or any other nominations on the floor?
I second that. I know we don't need to, but I second that definitely, John. You've done some incredible things in this town. And I look forward to your continued leadership in this position.
Any other comments? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. John, you want to come forward and take the oath?
Mr. Mims, also just want to say that thank you very much for putting in for this. Anybody that comes and wants to volunteer their time, I have a lot of respect for it. It's a testament to you, like David was saying. And please, there are a lot of openings that come open. Please, I hope look forward to another application. Hopefully, maybe even be on this board.
It's a lot of it. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to repeat, like I said, we appreciate what you've done from town, putting into this. There's going to be other positions coming open. I hope you will submit, keep an eye on this, we'll stay in touch with you. Absolutely. Place your left hand on the raise your right hand. I, Clark, do solemnly swear that I will support and maintain the Constitution and the laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office as chairman of the Belville ABC Board for the town of Belville, so help me God. Congratulations and welcome back. Thank you, Stephanie. Come on up.
You got a picture.
Nice job. Don't beat me up too bad. I forgot to put the mask on. Here it comes.
We won't publish that one.
So we're going to adjourn the meeting now.
Okay.
Congratulations, John.
You have to have a motion to accept Commissioner Merrill back to.
I'll make a motion to welcome Commissioner Merrill to the board.
Okay, all in favor?
Chairman.
That's chairman.
Aye.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Mayor.
No, we need to vote him in as chairman now. John Clark. That was just,
Member names.
yeah.
Yeah, that's 2 times. I apologize. Should have sworn you in the board then as chairman. But since I basically swore you in as chairman already, I'll swear him into the ABC board. We did have back to back. I do solemnly swear that I will support and maintain the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office as a Belville ABC board member for the town of Belville, so help me God. Thank you.
Thank you for all your support.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
And we'd like to reiterate with John's leadership since he came in and took the leadership of the ABC board. Our revenue has increased quite a bit. The percentage has been really high, and you know, at this point in time during the COVID virus, you know, our revenue stream into the town is going to be hurt. Sales taxes are down. A lot of taxes that we normally get to come in automatically are not there, but the revenue in certain areas, including our ABC system, has went up, not down. I don't know whether that's good or bad, but at least it assists our town to stay there, and through his guidance as the board, only good things have happened. So with John, we look forward to quite a few more years, and we appreciate you taking back over the helm. Thank you, sir. Any other comments from the commissioners?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for allowing John to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think that gets us out of I. Go to 9, old business. Update on the Brunswick River Walk project, upcoming events. So Mr. Kent Goodman has a few things to say about our landscaping design.
Oh, first I was going to talk about the Park and Recreation Board.
Okay.
You know, some of the events have been canceled, probably most of them. And they're trying to come up with a couple things to do that would be COVID compliant, you know, and so they come up with a couple things, but they don't want to move forward until they get your approval. So one of them would be a drive-in movie, which is something UNCW does. You know, you just somehow they get it on the radio channel and you can watch a movie. And the other one would be a kind of like a harvest festival where you would just have a farmer's market with a few vendors at the end of October, just selling their wares, keeping, you know, the distance in mind. So either one of those projects, they don't want to start doing any research until you think it's okay that they do.
I'd like to see more on that. I think I've talked to Athena about the drive-in movies and some of the logistics behind that, so I'd like to see. I think it's a great idea. I guess have it in the parking lot, figure out, I guess the big thing would be the screen.
Yeah, and they haven't looked into it yet, but they're going to if you would like to see it.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Okay. You good with that? All right.
Yeah, we can take a look at it, and like I say, I hope between, you know, before it gets too much later, we get something else out of the governor's office on his recommendations, you know, that we open up more. I think the guidance now is, 25 people. That's the max that they suggest that you have together with the social distancing. So anything we can do to carry on, give people an outlet so they can enjoy themselves, yeah.
Okay.
We'll definitely look into it.
I'll let them know to do the research, and then at the next meeting, we'll have some kind of presentation.
Yeah,
Okay.
You're gonna explain the Harvest Festival a little bit more to me, so, but I like the idea.
Well, the harvest, it was kind of an either or thing, but if you did that, it would just, you know, how they have farmers markets at Wrightsville Beach, they have them downtown, and basically calling it a harvest festival would be the end of, it would just be the end of the farmers market, and then they would pick and choose a few people to come and sell their essential wares, and that would be it.
Sounds good.
Mr. Mayor, I know we had talked with Little Boys Produce, and before all of this started, we were going to do a harvest type festival with a pumpkin patch.
Yep.
Where do we stand with that? Is that?
As far as I know, we haven't made, that will happen. You know, we're trying to see if we handle it the right way, then it's not going to be an issue because you're not going to have a large crowd of people. They set up selling the pumpkins. They're going to have a hay, kind of a showy type thing where the kids and people can come up, buy pumpkins. They need to buy it at the same time, get pictures, and kind of get them out of the house, get them out of the park. But right now, that's still on.
Okay, so if that's still on, then we should be able to incorporate something fairly
So we'll
easily.
contact them, make sure there's something like that. Okay.
But any of these ideas, I think the board and commissioners will look at, like I say, we have to stay within certain guidelines, we know that.
Okay.
And, but we do need to get the people out and give them opportunity to be able to get out into the open.
All right.
As long as we're following the governor's guidelines.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem.
Okay. Any other questions?
I think that's got it. And Kent, thank you for what you do. Thank you for your displays too that you do out there. The,
While you're up there.
center aisles and everything. Good.
Do you have any questions about this? Or I have a question. When are you guys going to break ground on the sign?
Mathena, you want to handle that?
It's actually being fashioned now, so I would say within the next 2 weeks, it should be ready.
Then you want to go ahead and just go over the sign and everything, what we're doing and.
Yes, sir. We are going to place this sign right in front of the Circle K. If you were to drive by there, if you look really hard, you can see stakes in the ground. That's kind of the location where the sign would be. And Mayor Pro Tem and Mayor Allen worked pretty hard with NCDOT to get an encroachment agreement and maintenance agreement for the sign. So Mr. Goodman has agreed to donate the materials for the landscaping and do all of the work. So if you approve this design, it would be, I think, a great asset to the entrance of the town.
I like it, except that the house is on the left side, not the right. So,
Well, I put it on the right just because of where it's situated.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, Athena was talking about putting posts on both sides.
yeah, we had talked about that, I think, but as far as money goes, it'd be great if we
I
could on
think
both
we're going
sides.
to do a phased project.
Yeah, we
Just
can-
have to visit
Yeah, we can do it in phases.
And then you could add columns if,
I think for a long time, one reason we're going with this, when you drive into Town of Belville, you got a city limit sign. We really don't have nothing big enough that when you come by, it says Belville, welcome. Well, this sign's gonna be big enough that people gonna know exactly where they're driving into. There'll be no doubt in their mind. So, our town has gradually, over a period of time, since the current board and the previous board, we're trying to change the complexion of the town to let people know that we are here. We're a viable town and we have things to offer. Where it's a nice community to live in, nice riverfront you can go down and enjoy, potential for businesses to come into the town. So we should have a symbol that's up there that recognizes that we are a town. We're here. So I'm looking forward to this sign being put in place. We'll have a big opening when they get ready to set it.
And I will say too, the sign is attractive enough to stand on its own, but if you guys want the landscape.
No, I like that. I think it just adds to it.
Yeah,
It's great.
Yeah, landscape's gone. Kent, we appreciate you for that too, because that's gonna be, any accents highlights it even more.
So you are okay if I start preparing that area?
Yeah, I mean, just coordinate with the scene.
Just coordinate with the thing.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you so
much.
Thank you, Sam. I guess everything is on track from what you told me, the signs being built now.
yes, sir, and it will be, native, we'll add the lighting
Okay.
after.
Okay, moving on to 9C, update on street repairs and drainage repairs, and I guess
Jeffrey
is Jeff. Have we got him online?
I'm here.
Go ahead, Jeff.
All right. So yeah, I was going to give a quick summary of what I observed after the hurricane. Ultimately, Athena asked me to drive through the River Ridge, Woodridge, and Old Town area for one. And after doing that, obviously, Mayor Allen, I happened to pass by you that day as I was going by the area that got affected by the tornado. I'll make the same point that I made then, that the ditches in that area are probably going to be not working very well until the debris is cleared in that area. There was so much debris, it was hard to find a spot where to put it. So a lot of that debris is in the ditch at the moment. But since that debris is going to be picked up pretty soon, that issue should go away pretty quickly. And then I also visited the Riverwalk. As some of you may have seen, the boat ramp that is in that area, or the little dock, got pretty much destroyed. That was due to the water level in the river coming up so high. And I know Jim Butcher has been gathering the information together to see what the cost will be to get that boat ramp repaired. And then the last point I'll make is, as you may have also seen too, there were several trees down around the Riverwalk. Town staff has put together some bid documents for a contractor to go in and remove and repair those trees. And that'll be coming up later in the meeting. There's a bit more to say about that contract, but I'll leave it at that for the summary of my observations.
Okay, we'll, Jeff, also I'll go over a couple of things. We were looking at the stormwater runoff system before the hurricane hit and trying to come up with some ideas on how we could solve some of the issues within the communities over the water runoff. We got some ideas we're going to suggest a little bit later on about trying to put an actual ground crew, maybe some temporary workers, to follow these ditches, and any major obstructions that we can clear, we can have those teams clear it, because you have to remember a lot of those easements are not owned by the property owner or by the town. And Mr. Norwood will have to give some highlight on that, because the state law actually suggests if water's running, we do have some leadway that we can go in and keep that water running under the current state law without owning it. So we can go in there and make some minor adjustments to it and keep it free of obstacles so it can flow. And the law covers us for that. So we want to look at that aspect and get the board, if they could, that we make a recommendation a little bit later on that we hire some temporary help to go down there, look at that, and clear some of these up. Now, DOT will be doing some, but a very limited amount where they own their right-of-ways where the pipes go under the roads. So they're supposed to be cleaning that up. Also, on Gregory Road, if you've been there, you notice that they have paved 50-some feet of it, but they didn't pave the rest of it. Well, through consultation with the district engineer, they're going to come back and finish it, which they should have got it all the first time, but they've agreed to come back and they're going to finish it out. You go to the good pavement that's already been paved where you turn into the bank. The other roads we're talking about, Backhoe Road, Pool Road, and Gregory Road, I've asked Bert, Mr. Harrelson, and the property owners back there that we need to have a meeting, and they have to understand it's up to them to get the road up to a standard before it can come into the town. Now, Gregory Pool has still agreed to fund the portion from Backhoe Road up to where the bank's paved and pave that out. And we'll work out some kind of deal with them. And they will agree to come into the city, into the town. So that's a plus for us. The rest of it is going to have to be worked out with those business and property owners to get Pool Road and Backhoe Road up to a standard that we can take them in as a municipal street. So we're still working on that. Plus, we'll look at any possible damage that we have from the hurricane and the water runoff on any of our other roads in the town and make any decisions we have to make on those. So, Madam Town Manager, any other thing I missed?
Just a request from Mr. Bill Taylor and Mr. Exum that we schedule a special meeting. They're wrapping up the document for the annexation for Gregory Road, and they asked that we would schedule a special meeting before our September meeting so that we could finish that process.
Well, what we'll do if commissioners don't have an issue with it, we'll try to get a set on that date and get it out to you as quick as we can. And I guess as long as we have a quorum there, so we can accept the road. You know, a portion of Backhoe Road and Pool Road are not in our city limits. They're still technically in the county. So it's gonna have to be, we'll have to be here to bring them, make a motion to accept them into the town limits.
That's it, Mayor, that was gonna say, that's key, we're not accepting the dedication of them, all we're
Right.
doing is annexing.
We're just annexing the roads into the town. We're not accepting the roads. The roads are gonna have to be brought up to standard. Thank you, Noah. So, any comments from the commissioners? We'll just try to get the date out to you as quick as we can to see if it's a conflict or we stand a chance we can come in here and meet and vote on it. Any other thing? Okay. Jeff, you got any other comments?
Not at the moment.
Well, if you think anything, you let us know now.
I think I might be coming up when the hurricane contract comes up later in the agenda.
Okay. All right, moving on to 9D, update on coronavirus actions. Town manager, you want to make some comments on that before I do?
We, as a staff, continue to take precautionary measures and serve the citizens as best we can. This will improve once our new website goes live. Instead of the citizens having to print a form and fill it out, they'll actually be able to fill that form out and email it to us directly from the website. So we are working on being a little bit more user-friendly for everyone with the circumstances.
And I'd like to thank the staff and Mayor Pro Tem and all that work, especially working on social media to make sure that the citizens stay informed. We keep them updated on all this. Also, the governor's guidance that's put out, we try to adhere to that guidance and make sure that whatever we do is in compliance. So it takes a constant monitoring because individuals sometimes don't like to comply and they have to be reminded. So we try to stay within those guidance to keep people safe and not spread this virus. Any comments from the commissioners?
I just want to check the website still, target date, going to be September sometime?
Yes, target date would be right after Labor Day weekend.
Okay, next, moving on to 9E, discussion on the draft hurricane operations plan. Now, I hope the commissioners had an opportunity to look through the operational plan. We do have a resolution. Madam Town Manager, you want to make any comments before I talk about the resolution?
Adrian is on the line.
Is she on the line?
Yes, sir. She wanted to a few points with you.
Okay.
Hello.
Adrian, the floor is yours, young lady.
Well, thank you so very much. And I'm excited to chat with you guys again about the hurricane operations plan. I know you guys had a chance to look at it last month as well. But, you know, during this time of year, there seems to be a lot of activity that is going on, and maybe this brings about some opportunity to enhance this plan. And one thing that I did like last month, there was the suggestion to take the floor plan of Belville Town Hall and kind of outline how we could incorporate cots and understand where storage space would be. You know, so that if under the conditions were needed, then, you know, if this had to turn into an emergency operations center, then how would you guys actually function in this space? So we did add that to the plan since what you guys saw last month. We also incorporated some information about tornadoes because, as we have seen, this has become an issue with the hurricanes. And Carla Isom-Thorpe is she is my content guru with all of this. So she is wonderful with all of this emergency operations. And when we were talking about the tornadoes and how to incorporate this in the hurricane plan, you know, we kind of didn't know where to stop the can of worms from overflowing. So, you know, we wanted to address the tornadoes and what to do in case of a tornado, but understanding that this is a hurricane plan. And then, you know, maybe there's an opportunity in the future to address, you know, all emergency management scenarios that could range from, you know, tornadoes and hurricanes to pandemics, because that's a thing now. So we did update it just a little bit, but it does still follow this basic format that we wanted to provide you guys with, so that no matter who is there, you know, if everybody's out on vacation on the other side of the world and you need somebody to come in to help get your town through this hurricane, and they go, what do we do? You have a document that has, you know, printable pages, goes directly to what you need to do to get your town through the process of a hurricane. So that's pretty much, you know, all I have to say from, you know, where we left off last month. And if you guys have any questions, we are more than happy to answer them.
Any comments, Commissioners?
Just thank you for a comprehensive plan. Thank you for the collaboration with staff. Thank you for the focus that you brought to this.
And like I say,
Absolutely.
thank you, Adrian, so much. You've been a great help. We look to working with you in the future, and you have a lot to offer us, and we really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I've enjoyed working with you guys as well.
So what we're looking at, and Athena and I sat down, talked with Adrian, and, you know, looked at what we can add to the operational plan, because, you know, the commissioner been so gracious in working as far as we have a generator now that we can supply our town hall. It's fully operational, which proved a big asset during this last hurricane. Now we have shower capabilities. We're building where, you know, if we had to have EMS personnel, emergency personnel, and even federal personnel have want to come here, we got the facility that can take care of them and make ourselves more of an operational center if need be, that we can, you know, we have our limitations, but at the same time, you know, we can put cots in here. You can supply enough food at least for a week or two that we can have that can last. So if we do become an operational center, or we have to operate, or even an emergency enough that some of our people are actually displaced through the disaster, at least for a short period of time, we can help and assist them. So staff, I thank y'all so much for the hard work you've done on making this happen. Adrian, thank you. But I think we're getting more prepared for this when it happens. So I have a resolution, if I can get a motion to accept R20-19. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it, and I'll go ahead and read it. A resolution by the Belville Board of Commissioners adopting an updated hurricane operation plan for the town of Belville, whereas North Carolina and Brunswick County have a history of hurricanes making landfall, creating destruction of property and life. And whereas town of Belville strives to best prepare for future hurricanes to ensure the safety of its residents and their property. And whereas from time to time, the town may be threatened by tropical weather, and whereas a state of emergency may be declared during times of great public crisis, disaster, or catastrophic, and whereas in the event of such an existing or threatening state of emergency endangering the health and welfare of the people within the town, or threatening damage to or destruction of property, is necessary for the town to respond in a manner which will mitigate public injury or loss of property. And whereas the Hurricane Operation Plan of 2020 includes appendices, is hereby officially adopted by the Board of Commissioners. Now, therefore, it hereby be resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the town of Belville, North Carolina, that the town manager is hereby authorized to implement the Hurricane Operation Plan and to follow such plan during periods of public emergency adopted this 24th day of August 2020. Like I said, thank staff again for the hard work they do, that we keep this plan, and we constantly want to do updates on things we think can positively affect the people of this town but also help even the areas around us on as far as being an operational center. I've even had two of the federal agencies even come over and ask if we can have space here during the operational side of things going on. So that's a plus for us. Also, the word's getting out. It also brings big benefits for the citizens of our town that we look out for their health and their welfare, even in times of disaster. Any other comments from the commissioners? If not, we'll move on to the regular agenda. Under 10A, a hurricane, if I say it wrong, response and recovery. It goes through one update on phase 2 debris removal, part tree removal bid, and the boat ramp. So we'll go to update on phase 2 debris, and I don't think, is Barry here or? Okay.
Barry, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Go ahead, Barry. Can you give us an update?
I'll be glad to give you an update. Yes, sir. Well, as of the work week Friday, finishing Friday, they had pulled 8,212 cubic yards out of Belville, focusing primarily on those bottleneck areas of north and south Old Town. From my update today from my guy in the field, Rich is our guy that supervising that job directly. He says they have completed both old north and south Old Town for a single pass, and have also now done the 2 connecting streets, Brunswick Place and Avalon. And the game plan tomorrow is to move down, let's see here, Windsor with one truck, and the other truck is supposed to be working in the West Bank area. They'll do their best. That is a very tight area. He'll be dropping his trailer to try to get in there and pull the material out with a skid steer or telehandler. And then finish that West Bank zone, and that truck will try to finish up his day and wrap up the whole Stony Creek neighborhood. So that's in a nutshell. Day one, pretty impressive considering that we've been there for almost 2 weeks. And as you guys know, just so much of that material is coming out of the north and south Old Town wind. We understand there are a few concrete owners there that has had difficulty bringing out the rest of their material because it is so wet and so much rain again in their backyards. We understand there will probably be a punch list path, second path in those couple of areas.
Well, we appreciate that, Barry. I've ridden out the streets every day. You and the guys and the contractor have done an outstanding job staying on top of this. The time that you got in, it's been hard work, and with the amount of debris that, like you said, on North and Old Town, South Wine and North Wine, I'm impressed how quickly it's been removed, and I know the homeowners over there really appreciate it.
It is amazing. The tornado touchdown zones were just some of the most concentrated insect debris I've ever seen. Straight up with you. It was pretty significant in those areas. But like you said, these guys, under conditions that, they were finding it, they made a pretty significant move of material in that period of time. I really, outside of those particular areas, I
Yeah, I think from looking at the rest of it, like I say, North and Old Towns, those were the two real troubled areas. And like I say, there will be more debris to pick up. I'm noticing that today when I rode through. But like I say again, Barry, we thank y'all for the quick response. As fast as y'all got on this, I think it really helped out the homeowners tremendously.
Yes, sir, Mayor. I think they've done a real good job, and we're going to continue to try to work with you, and we will appreciate your assistance when it's getting closer to trying to do that major thoroughfare there on 133.
Okay, thank you so much, and whatever assistance y'all need, just let us know, Barry.
Always, sir. Same as well. Please be in contact if you guys need anything.
Okay, any comments from the other commissioners? Thank you, Barry, and we'll be in touch.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you much.
Like I said, I thank everybody. I know the commissioners, if you've been around here and you saw how much debris has been picking up, it's amazing. Even in the time frame that they've worked, they've moved as much debris as they've moved. It's a lot. And I'm even surprised when I rode back there that morning and looked at what the damage was done. I just shaking my head because I've seen a lot of disasters. But being concentrated in that small of area was just amazing. Nobody was hurt and no homes were totally destroyed. Some of them are damaged pretty heavily. And we wish the families the best, and we'll be here to do everything we can for them.
Mayor,
Yes.
I'd just like to say real quick, the fact that town staff, everybody got this mobilized quickly also was great. I mean, I just saw it today that the county just finally announced that they're going to be picking up in the unincorporated areas. I mean, we've had a plan in place for weeks to pick up the entire town, let alone what they've already done in Old Town. So thank you and good job with that.
And like I said, that says a lot about our staff, also a lot about our contractors, as well as the morning of, we already had a tree outfit clearing the roads as soon as light hit. So there was no pause in the time that we responded. I appreciate staff staying on top of it. Our town manager was, of course, I was waking her up after midnight, getting her, she was already on the phone making calls. We know how important it is for the people of our town and the commitment we have to them, and especially in disaster. They know somebody's there, somebody cares. Okay, moving on. Let's see, 10A2, park tree removal bid. Who's on?
Jim is still on the line, sir, and Jim is on the line.
And the park, okay, the only thing we're waiting, I think, on the park tree deal, basically, once we got all the requirements out of the way, we can go ahead and put out the bids, correct?
Yes, we're requesting put that out for September 1st. And we've already received some preliminary estimates. But we do have to go through the bid process before we receive reimbursement.
Okay. So basically, I don't think we really need to get in a lot more detail till we get the bids ready to come forward. Okay. Any comments from commissioners? Okay, we'll go to 10A3, the boat ramp. And I'll make some comments on that. Jim's went out and looked at it. We've already got some assessments. We still need some more. I think we're gonna have some good results as far as getting that replaced. Once we get the other two bids in, I think the commissioner's gonna be happy with some of what you're gonna see. And plus the overall cost of getting it completely repaired. It got damaged one time when Florence was here. Now it looks like it's been totally taken out. But we got one bid, we'll get two more, and then we can put that forward to the commissioners. And like I say, I think you're gonna like the way that turns out.
Is this boat ramp part of the grant that we were asking?
Yes, it will be part of that.
So how's that affect the grant?
We would still need this just for reimbursement and simultaneously, hopefully, we will receive some information from the grant. We're looking towards October is the date that we would get to find out, but we're hoping that there would be some way we could get a boat ramp operational in short term and still meet the requirements of little long. So we apply for upgrades.
I think with that grant coming in, it'll give us some additional ability to lengthen the ability to get out to the water, I hope.
Yeah, I think that included a floating portion too,
Correct.
didn't it?
Mhm.
Yes, this was supposed to be a fixed portion. This is a fixed portion. I just want to make sure we're not jeopardizing one by fixing it.
Okay, and then 10B, transportation update. I know who makes comment on that one. Like I say, the WMPO right now for all, I don't know how you quite face this. There's not a whole lot we can do right now. With DOT and the financial side that DOT's in right now, there was a bill passed in the House and Senate that kind of gave DOT some money, but all the major projects, not just in our area, we're talking about all of North Carolina, are going to be really set back. And this setback could be more than just next year. The way the financing and everything's being allocated, there's a lot of things right now happening in the WMPO. A lot of behind the scenes things going on because there's a lot of concerns right now that some of these major projects, they don't know when they're going to actually be funded, and it could be, and I'm just putting this out, it's not written and granted. It could be 7 years for a lot of these bigger projects. And DOT right now is operating on kind of a week-to-week basis as money's allocated to them on certain projects they can and cannot work, even on the maintenance side. So they're in a very restrained time frame right now until this virus is over. The assessments are done, because gasoline sales generates a lot of revenue for the Department of Transportation, and those monies are way down. So everybody's looking at the WMPOs in North Carolina are looking at their projects, the possibility, because some federal money comes into it, but don't look for any big projects in the short term or small projects to be moving forward very much. So it's just something we have to keep looking at. There's a lot of traffic flowing in the MPO right now. There's no question on that. We'll move down to item 11, closed session. We left a piece off there, and I can't even remember how we say it.
142.
Yeah, the consultation with our attorney under General Statute 143, and I can't remember all the little deals, but we'll add them in. Could I have a motion that we go into closed session? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. I don't think we'll be in closed session very long. If anybody'd like to stay. And if not, we thank everybody for being here tonight. Already run everybody off. Got rid of everybody. Good job. Okay, can I have a motion? We come back into open session.
Make a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, the only thing we had a discussion with our attorney on is the USG agreement between the town and USG. No decisions were made. Thank y'all for that. Okay, is there any other discussions? Any comments from the town attorney? You have any other comments you want to make, sir? Okay, Commissioner Morgan?
No, thank you.
Merrill, excuse me. Commissioner Merrill?
My apologies for being late, but I was logged in from the beginning and keeping up with everything on Zoom, so I didn't miss anything prior to my arrival.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you being here. Commissioner Long?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna say anything either, other than, do I have a motion that we adjourn?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. We stand adjourned.